What's going on, guys? Bart here with Tully Television. I want to thank all of you for stopping by, liking, commenting, sharing. I hope today is the day we earn your subscription. Down below, I'm gonna I'm gonna try to keep remembering this. I know I have a hard time doing it. I'm gonna download our TikTok account that I recently created to try to keep in conjunction with this channel to kind of like start building our community a little bit better. Um, Trying to get into different things too, like maybe doing the Discord thing. But you have to give the old man some time. These things are kind of new ideas I'm running with, and um, I gotta learn about Discord a little bit. I know. I'm a boomer, right, guys? But today's video, I wanted to get into a new series I was contemplating, and um, I'm still trying to figure out what to do as far as clips or whatever, because we're going to be getting into some soundtracks for movies that I thought that people would remember or have a special connection to, because usually the meeting of visual media and music has been a big thing since way before MTV, when you'd have the like the Beatles on the Ed Sullivan Show, um, Rolling Stones on whatever live performances. There's always has gone hand in hand music and visual media, because those are the two big industries that make you feel things that you normally may not be feeling at that specific time. However, when you see that cool little movie scene and a nice song that fits with that, a lot of YouTube is kind of based off of that too, trying to add clips together. And there's some YouTubers out there that do a great job of um, meshing music and visual styles together. And so today I kind of want to dip into five soundtracks. I'm going to start off this video. It's just going to be five soundtracks I think were pretty cool or had some sort of significance behind it. A couple of songs that you may remember or were remembered by fans of these soundtracks and movies. And if given the time, why don't you go check these particular video songs out, or these movies out that if you haven't seen them. Up to you. I just think that these are pretty cool soundtracks that were in pretty cool movies, and that's where the idea was born. You know what I mean? But all right, let's get into it. Enough of babbling Bart, the babbling Brook Bart. um, the first one is The Bodyguard in 1992. Um, we have the song I Have Nothing Without You, of course, sung by Whitney Houston, and I Will Always Love You by Whitney Houston. Now, that particular song, I Will Always Love You, was originally performed and I believe written by Dolly Parton. Don't hold me on the writing part. I just know for sure she was the first artist to do that song, I Will Always Love You. And this particular version by um, Whitney, Whitney Houston, I had to blank there for a second, was one of the more popular songs to ever come out of a soundtrack, breaking records. This song was being played everywhere, and it really accentuated the talent that Whitney had, and kind of unfortunate to think that she was cut from this world too soon. Everyone's got things to carry with them, but it was only amazing to think about what else could have been for her. And the movie The Bodyguard, I mean, with Kevin Costner and her, it was like really even a great fit, because she was like a for real pop star, so you can kind of she can kind of maybe didn't have her acting chops, but she does. She's had some good little roles, but this was a role she could really sink her teeth into, right? Between fans and people who don't like you because of your popularity and fame and riches, and stalkers and this and that, and the love story between Kevin Costner and her character. I just thought it was really a well put together soundtrack. The next soundtrack I want to talk about is the Batman soundtrack from 1989. Prince, man. Another one who's cut too soon from this world. He could probably still be me. The music this man has made people's souls and minds melt over the lyrics and the actual musical accoutrements, if you will, or however you say that. The way his brain was just so, and he is no stranger to soundtracks and movies. I mean, Purple Rain is a prime example of that, in my opinion. And he was chosen to do this particular soundtrack, and I think it was pretty darn good. Um, we have two songs I particularly liked off of that soundtrack was Party Man, all right, and the Bat Dance. Okay, Bat Dance. And that video for that particular single off the soundtrack was great too, because half of him and some other people part of the dancing and everything were half Joker, half Batman. I thought that was, as a kid, I was like 13, 14. I was like, oh my God, that's so amazing, right? Like, I would have never thought to do that at the time. Um, it just really, again, as much as I say about Whitney Houston, this really just goes to show you that given anything presented to Prince on a musical thing, this man will knock it out of the park, okay? So that's my second choice of a soundtrack that you should listen to. Number three choice for me, number three for, and this isn't meaning that I think these are in order of how, like my order. These are just five random ones I pulled out that I thought. But the third one we're going over is the Dirty Dancing soundtrack. Dirty Dancing was a movie set back in the 50s or 60s, and it was about a family that would go to the Catskills for the regular Catskills, New York, and it was a big family thing where you got to do fishing, hiking, activities, all the fun stuff if you had the moolah to go do this with your family for the summer. For the summer, okay? And the story is that baby gets involved with some uh, people that normally she would not be involved with if her parents and family had anything to do with it. And she learns to dance, like for real dance, through Patrick Swayze and I forget the lady's character's name that was in there, the blonde that had to not do the competition with Johnny, but was also helping Baby train with Johnny. And some I Had the Time of My Life was another song that when released was just all over the place. Now, a lot of these songs were songs of the time period that they were representing in the movie. So you had some musical numbers from that time period. Yeah, but what really stuck out for me was the time of my life. I had the time of copyrights. Don't strike me, please, YouTube. And another song that I was a fan of that was an original, I believe, creation of this soundtrack, or maybe it's just Patrick Swayze covering the song, and I'm just wrong thinking that he made the song. She's Like the Wind, and the song is about obviously the influence and the lingering effect of a woman's love, in his heart. and just being unable to capture that because she's like the wind. So that's number three here. Uh, number four, Hustle and Flow, 2005. Okay. Now, this soundtrack may be not up everyone's alley because it is primarily like hip hop and R&B, because the movie is about a pimp trying to make it in the music industry, and he's trying to create an album or singles with his producer and his DJ or engineer, so to speak, and he has to get these like microphones and mixing boards and all these other things through nefarious actions, so to speak. Like there's this one scene where the microphone was like $500 or something, and he had one of his girls like take care of that, doing taxes for that microphone. They were doing taxes, and for me, a couple of the songs that I were that came out of it that were popular was "Whoop That Trick" and "Hard Out Here for a Pimp." It's hard out here for a pimp. And on a little side note, before I move on to the next one, there was a co-worker of mine from when I worked for this big superstore. I'm not going to say the name of the superstore. It's just a super center, man, and you don't have to buy a membership for it, man. And this young man's name is Jim, and a friend of mine and I would get him to sing "Whoop That Trick," and it was. We weren't like he was in on it because he wasn't like a rap guy, but he kind of acknowledged that it was like just a funny thing between us friends and stuff like that. And once in a while, it'd be like, "Hey, Jim, whoop that trick," and he'd be like, "Get him." So, Jim, if you ever come across this, man, you're the man, brother. And the last soundtrack I'm going to talk about is Enchanto from 2021. And all these movies I've seen. So I'm going to try to stick with soundtracks from movies I've seen. Unless you guys have any suggestions, let me know down below, obviously. But Enchanto, out in 2021, it is an animated Disney movie. For me, I think it was one of the last. That and Moana, I think, were the last two like Disney animated films I've seen. Both I liked a lot. I didn't see Moana too, but Enchanto I thought was a clever little movie, and it was like most Disney movies are musicals for the most part. And there's this one song, "Waiting on a Miracle." But the big song that came out of it, it just, again, sometimes you don't know what's going to really hit with audiences or not, is we don't talk about Bruno, meaning that Bruno was a family member of Black Sheep, and yeah, we don't talk about Bruno, bro, until they discovered Bruno was okay. He just was outcasted for no reason. However, that song is a pretty rad song in my opinion. Cause like even if you're with your friends and you don't want to talk about something at the moment, you can just be like, "We don't talk about Bruno here." But those are my first 5 picks of soundtracks for movies that I think that are worth listening to and checking out. Again, if you have any suggestions, you let me know down below. And until next time, peace, Snookums.